Shall I talk about what I got in the post recently and what stir I made up at Limited Run Games?
Go for it, Bill. So Limited Run Games. Am I right in thinking they're the guys? They made the physical versions of Streets of Rage 4, didn't they?
Yeah, they're a company.
They do a lot of indie stuff, don't they?
That's right. They're a company that give games that would otherwise be digital only a physical release. So I recently purchased the Shantae series on Limited Run. So these are the old Switch, the old Game Boy games that were never released on anything else except for digital releases or really old Game Boy games, and they've just released them on Switch. And it came with this nifty little box. It wasn't that. It was just an added thing to keep all the whole set in, right? So I've only got
two games.
Well, this is it. There's 5 games in the Shantae series. It's a great series. You should check them out. The games are really cheap on digital. They're a bit like Metroidvanias. Well, they are mainly Metroidvanias. So I got this box, and this is designed to hold the rest of the series, the 5 games on Switch. They've actually, Limited Run has released all 5 on the Switch at different times. The first one they did was Shantae 3. Now, I got this box, and I thought, I'm not really bothered because I've played them all before. It's just a nice little thing to have on the shelf. I went on eBay to look at the prices, and to my absolute horror, a game that was released for about 20 quid, Limited Run Games version Shantae 3 is about £500 to £1,000 to get hold of because it's one of the first games they ever released. Right?
What?
And so I went on Twitter and I said, Limited Run Games, are you ever going to re-release Shantae and the Pirate's Curse again? Because the prices on eBay are ridiculous. And how on earth am I going to finish my box that I've just got from you recently if I can't get hold of the rest of the set because they're stupid prices? They said, first of all, they might have a clean out sale on January, but the best place to go is to their Discord to try and go on their sell and trade chat and see if someone's selling a copy. So you don't have to play these.
I mean, if I had a game that was worth 500 quid, I would certainly go on Discord and sell it for 30 quid instead.
Well, I just followed I followed what they told me to do. So I went on Discord, and now you've got the contents. This is what actually happened. I went on Discord and I said, and I quote, "Please don't laugh. Is anybody selling a copy of Shantae 3?" Within 30 seconds, a guy came on. He says, "I'm selling a copy. Throw a price at me." So I replied, not knowing really, how this place works or what are the good place. I said, anything southwards of the stupid prices they're doing on eBay. So he comes back and he puts £500. So I said, well, hang on a minute. That's the same price as what eBay is. So I threw back. I said, okay, £120. And I swear to God, I started a complete landslide of insults. The entire Discord channel went absolutely insane with the entire popularity of everyone on Discord going, that guy's insulting you. What a clown. How dare he think that he can get a price. That game never goes for anything cheaper than £500. It went on and on and on. And I went, whoa. Hang on, guys. He said throw a price at him. And I said anything that's not stupid like £500. And the first thing he said was £500. So I said 120. It's just stupid, right? And then literally it went on. He said, I don't understand how you ever think you could get that. And one guy out of about, 68 people, I think I counted, that was throwing insults mine. One guy went, hang on a minute, guys. This guy's got a point. This person is selling Shantae at £500, is making 1,000% markup on what he originally paid for it. What this gentleman is offered at £120 is still 300% more than what he would have paid. Is that really that wrong? Is that really that insulting? And again, that same 68 people went straight after that guy and started on him. And I thought,
that's so mean.
And I literally went, guys, why are you defending the scalpers? Why do you think, just because that game sells historically for that you believe that is, the way you should behave? Like, I'm ripping him off?
Is it because the people in this Discord are like, they're diehard limited run fans, and they've already got a copy of all of these games, and so they want it to be worth quite a lot?
Maybe, I don't know, but I was just like, I've said 3 things in that Discord, and I've received more hate in those 3 comments than I have my entire life on Twitter.
You should copy all of that, send that to Limited Run Games, and say, is this the community that you want to foster and promote? Because you're actively providing a platform for people to be,
Well, that's a good point, actually. I might take a screenshot of some of my favourites and go back to Twitter and say, "Oh, thank you for recommending your Discord to try and get a copy of a game you'll never release. This is the kind of abuse I got.
Now please give me a free game and make me a copy of the game I want." Totally,
Jeez,
you should. Oh, Bill, run with it, Bill. Go mad for it. I would.
Absolutely crazy. It's like, wow. But yeah, that was my story of the day.
Emily says, make sure to promote OLL 22 in your customer complaints. Yeah, that's good. Iconic says, Ash is currently checking the prices of the game on eBay.
Huh?
I doubt it.
How much?
Sorry,
I'm gonna check eBay as well.
I actually don't agree with Bill. But I didn't
Hot take. Ash, tell us what you think, and I'm gonna. How do I spell the name of this game, Bill?
Shantae, SHA.
SHA.
NT.
NT.
AE. And it's pirates. Just put pirates and you'll find it.
So, I don't agree with the reaction that you got, Bill. Let me just say that. I don't agree with shutting down people on the internet, attacking people on the internet, being keyboard warriors. Like, the behaviour that you've described is vile. Like, there's no need to go after people on the internet. Let's just put that out there. That's not the part I disagree with, is your reaction to that. The part I disagree with is if a game is collectible and no longer out of print, charge as much as you want for it. Like, supply and demand. It's no different than, retro games that aren't printed anymore, that are really rare and go for like the same amount of money. Like, there's a couple of Sega Saturn games that go for like 300, 400 quid. And I'm like, yeah, if it's collectible,
Oh yeah, no. I totally agree with you. It's not the case that what he was charging was the problem. It's
the way he said, "Throw me a price," and then acted like your price was an insult. That's the vile behaviour.
And that's right. And the fact that I said anything less than the stupid prices on eBay, because like John's just shown, is probably one of the worst scenarios.
I can't get it. My camera's rubbish. £1,199. It's what?
Yeah, it's a good.
You could almost buy a PS5 for that.
Yeah, it's a great game, but it's not worth that price as a game. And like I said, it wasn't the case that I completely agree with you. If you've got something and it's of value, you can sell it for whatever you want, no problem. But it was the case that I said anything southwards of what's going on eBay. He said the exact price of his copy on eBay as £500, and I said, well, that's the same price. So he said throw a price. I then said 120 because I think, well, why would you say the same price I just said don't do? And then the vileness came out after, like the insult. It's up to them what they sell it for. I won't buy it because I do think it's a silly price. It will probably never go in the set. In fact, I'd probably just go and get printed a cover and just stick it in a case just to complete the little box thing that I've got, because that's all I really need it for. But no, it absolutely, Ash, I completely agree with you. If you've got something and it's of value, sell it for whatever you want. That's your prerogative. Just don't feel that somebody needs to be chopped down on the internet because they don't know what the value of something that you feel you do know is, I
think there's a difference between a reseller's market where products are priced high, and there's a difference between that and scalping. Collectors will pay whatever they feel something is worth. Like, for example, I wanted to buy a Panasonic GameCube, and they're clearly not worth 500 quid, but to me they were worth X amount that I was willing to pay. But there's a difference between that and scalpers, where scalpers are simply buying it to flip a profit. They're not collectors. They're not, they're not selling it for the benefit of, a collecting community or something like that. They're artificially inflating the price by limiting supply, which is a totally different situation to simply the free market determining the value of a product based on its, level of interest.
That's true.
Which is
to be fair, I don't know for certain whether he is actually scalping. It was just me jumping to conclusions. He could actually, the copy he's got is sealed, and they come with these. Apparently, these are really collectible. They come with these cards, these limited run cards. Every time you buy one from the company, they give you a collectible card, and apparently they're like 50 quid each as well. But and then they're free with the purchase. But he was saying it comes with a card, it's all sealed and that kind of stuff. I said to the guy, I said, open it, keep the card. Just give me the inlay and that's all I really need. I don't need the rest. So to be fair, I don't know if he was buying to scalp, because I think that's slightly different. He could be just a collector that's just selling it on. But yeah, you're right. You're right, John. You're right.
Yeah. People pay what they feel they want to.
Yes.
Emily and Loz, unfortunately, retro games are only going to increase in price. Indeed, that is Bill's retirement fund sitting behind him right there.
Maybe, I don't know. I think most
Bill,
of that is probably.
If you choose to sell that in your late 50s, Bill, say 20 years' time, you could sell that. You could literally spend the rest of your life just travelling around the world with not a care in the world. You could exchange that collection for. Think what that size of that collection is going to be worth.
You're overestimating what's on that shelf, I think. Yeah, maybe. And then maybe I won't be having a go at this guy in Limited Runs Discord. I'll be doing exactly the same thing that he was saying. When someone comes to me and goes, yeah, I'll give you 100 quid for the lot. I'll be like, what?
John's retirement fund, not much. I don't think a Lego Yoda is going to go up in price that much. What we got? We got time for... Let's do one question from Bill, and then that'll sign us off for the show.
Oh, all right then. Right. Is there... No, I'll go with the other one. What is your video game Achilles heel? Your white whale? The one game where whenever you try to sit down and play it, it's... something's gotten away and you couldn't do it, or you've never actually managed to get to the end because of X reason. Or your white whale, your video game Achilles heel.
Cider Schneider says fighting games.
In general.
I suck at them. You know what? I would love to be good at fighting games. And the only time I've ever felt good at fighting games was Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, when I just played it with my friends and I could beat my 2 or 3 friends that I played with on Street Fighter, and then once online became a thing, you then suddenly realised you're actually not as good as you thought by quite a long way, and then that kind of put me off.
Have one game.
Squid Dude is offensively bad at Mega Man.
Mega Man's just a tough game, to be fair. Unless you were bought it and that's the only game you had for the whole year, it's actually a tough game.
I have one.
Go on, Jack. What game have you struggled, or games or genre have you struggled to play and complete?
It's not necessarily struggled. It's more, it became a slog, and it was Valhalla. It was like a brilliant game. Loved it.
Assassin's Creed?
Haven't completed it. Yeah, purely because it is so long. I don't think I'm even... I put like 90 hours in, and I think still had like probably another 20 hours to go. Like, that game is excessively big, and I didn't finish it. I know what happens at the end, because Henry, we had like a few month thing where it's just like, you hadn't finished it, I'm spoiling it for you. I was like, that's fair. It has been months. And he told me the ending, and I thought, okay, that's a cool ending. But it's just purely because it was such a long game that I haven't gone back to it and completed it. Because it was so long. It's the only Assassin's Creed game I've not finished.
There was a good one in the chat. I saw, I think it was Cheney said Donkey Kong 64. I know a lot of people that didn't actually finish that.
That's a bad game, isn't it?
No, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's dated, but you have to get everything in the game to be able to get to the end, and a lot of people have never completed it. So that's a good one. But mine, for the longest time, was Donkey Kong Country 2, because I got rid of my Super Nintendo for a N64 and things before I got Donkey Kong Country 2. So every time I went to go sit down and play it, something got in the way of me finishing it. But I did actually finish it the last couple of years. So my latest white whale is Battletoads on the Super Nintendo. And it's my white whale because under even the original Battletoads, which everyone says, oh, it's the hardest game in the world, really difficult. Even with save states on this game, I cannot complete it. Because it is so ridiculously hard, save states do nothing. There's this level. Everyone goes, oh yeah, the speed bikes. That's the one that
Save states can be really bad though, because if you save at the point where you're about to die, you're then stuck at that point forever.
Oh, you don't understand on this one, John. Everyone goes,
I've been there myself.
Everyone goes on about the speed biker level being the one that that's the hardest in Battletoads. No. Then there's the one afterwards, which is where you have to climb all around the snakes, and the snakes go around all these different obstacle courses and spike pits. Oh, that's not a problem either. It's the level afterwards that no one ever talks about, where you're on a lawnmower and you're being chased by a rat. And I have like 18 slots on my save states thing, and it's so incredibly difficult that you can't make even the slightest mistake before you die. If you want the hardest game in the world, forget Dark Souls, forget Demon Souls and every other kind of Souls. You play Battletoads on the SNES, my friend. You'll never, ever complete it. It's not possible. There, that's my white whale.
Can I spit some
Does
truth
everybody
bombs
else
at your
think
hair,
this
Bill?
Bloody game.
Bill?
What's that?
Anybody else feel like this question was a trigger for Bill?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Bill just needed to get that off his chest. That's why he asked the question, I think. But the truth is, Bill, is that Battletoads game is a terrible game. It was never good. Battletoads has never been good. It's just one of those weird games that for some reason still has this cult following. The original game was trash. Like Busby. Busby was bloody terrible. But for some reason, people still remember it. Loads of I can't read out all the chats. There's too much. Arcade says Popples. Bill's triggered himself. Battletoads was terrible, but it's not hard, says Serious Ninja. Serious Ninja says Battletoads is not hard, Bill.
Wait. The first Battletoads is not hard. Battletoads Battle Maniacs on the SNES, that's the hard one. And if you're saying it's not, I'd love to see a video of you playing it.
Okay.
He is a bit of a challenge nut, I'll be honest. Like, he's played Dark Souls on the hardest difficulty several times. He's completed all the Soulsborne games.
I've done all that. Ninja Gaiden, done all that. Battletoads on the Super Nintendo. That's the one I want to see. Then I'll shake your hand. Then you'll be recognised by Bill.
Then he'll talk to you on Discord.
I'll send you a certificate and everything. I'll make you a certificate. If you beat Battletoads and send me a video of you doing it, and it has to be legit, and it has to, we'll talk about the rules later, I will make you a certificate and send it to you in the post. That's how hard that game is.
Stick it on the Discord. Let's do it. Heblin says Altered Beast was quite hard.
Altered Beast had a few mechanics in it once you've learned how to do it. It wasn't...
Altered Beast was not a good game. It was...
No,
so many people had it, because obviously it was bundled in with the Mega Drive before Sonic came out. That was the pack-in game. So many people had Altered Beast, and it's not easy at all.
There's two things with Altered Beast that you learn after.
Oh, Bill's died. Oh no, Discord's died. It's just me. It's just me. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You disappeared. That's right. I was like, oh my god, I'm all alone for a second there.
No. The two things in Altered Beast is if you hold down and press kick, you'll kick upwards and get things coming from the air. The other thing is that when you turn into the dragon, you've got this dash move that will kill bosses very quickly if you know where to be. So once you learn those two, the game's not that difficult. But yes, it can be if you don't know those.
What did it say in Altered Beast? Something about Doom. No, Fata. It's Fanata. It said, "Rise from your grave," wasn't it? Something like that. I don't know. Hello, Flub. Alex Kidd in Miracle World is actually really difficult, or he's got old. Both. I'm afraid on that one. It is difficult, and we're both old. Oh, I've got to do my story, haven't I? For me, the one game that I've never been able to finish, that I've always wanted to, which is actually really strange because I was actually having this conversation with Kisra at the cafe, like literally this week. Final Fantasy VI is the game that I've never been able to finish. I've always wanted to. Obviously, as most of you know, if you are regular viewers, big Final Fantasy fan, but for some reason I haven't played 14. One day I will. You can add that to the list as well, actually. Why not? But Final Fantasy VI was the game that got me into Final Fantasy. My friend, his name was Dave, but for some reason we all called him Stan. No one knows to this day. And he had a copy of Final Fantasy III on the SNES, which was the American name for Final Fantasy VI. Because 1, 2, and 3 didn't come out in America, and so number 4 was actually number 1 in America, so number 3 is actually number 6. But blah blah blah. That's beside the point. But he imported a copy of that, and he had like a Daytale action replay. So you stack the cartridge, the converter import conversion cartridge into your SNES, and then you put the game on top. So it's all a little bit wobbly. And he claimed it was the greatest game of all time, and I saw him playing it quite a bit after school, and it's like, yeah, I really need this game as well. And he finished it, and he loaned the game to me, and so I had the game. I played through half the game and accidentally knocked the console and wobbled the cartridge, and it crashed the game and deleted all the save files, including his 100% complete save file on the game. I haven't spoken to him for many years now. So yeah, so I got halfway through the game and it died and it crashed, and then
that's the reason you stopped talking.
Oh, thanks, Kisra, for the Eris death sympathy. And then I came back to it in around 2009, where I used to get the train to work. When I had to get a train to work, and I had a Nintendo DS. I'm not going to say I bought one. I'm going to say I was given an R4 card, and so I had Final Fantasy VI on my Nintendo DS, and I played it on the train.
Literally just said, John. Literally just said you did. You should have just said
I
was given an R4 card.
Anyway, carry on.
But if they would just release the game officially on something, then I'd buy it. Anyway, sticking it on Steam. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I had it on the DS, and I played through half the game. And then the regional manager at Game moved me from the Norwich store to the Ipswich store, and so I no longer got the train to work, and I had to end up working with Bill, and I met Bill. So I just didn't have any time to carry on playing the game. So again, I got halfway through the game and never finished it. And then I've owned the game in so many different ways. I've got it on mobile, Kisra. I've got it on my phone here with Chrono Trigger, and I've had it on the SNES Mini. I've had the PlayStation 1 anthology version of it, and I just haven't done it. But one day, I will. One day
you will capture that whale.
I'm going to do it. But just a quick one on Final Fantasy. They've just now put the pre-orders on for the Pixel Remaster Collection, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which is Final Fantasy 1 to 6, remastered yet still pixelated, but the graphics actually look worse than the originals. It's up on Steam. It's available on Steam and mobile, but not consoles, because obviously the consoles just aren't powerful enough to run Final Fantasy 6. But they're blinking. It's 55 quid. It's 55 quid for 6 games that are 30 years old, that have been included in collections so many times, and it's only the first 3. The other 3 don't come out till November.
£55 for just 3 of them.
Yeah. Imagine if you were in America though, then it's like $75, isn't it? Which is crazy. That's like more than a PS5 game. It's madness. Yes, I am self-triggering now, Kizro. It's my turn.
Yeah, off you go.
John being surprised by capitalism always amuses me.
John being surprised by capitalism.
And I think Flub's right. PC gamers pay the pounds. They do, because PC gamers are rich. But joke's on you, because I've now got Microsoft Flight Sim coming on my Xbox, so I'm all right with that. Man, I can't wait for Flight Sim. I'm so excited for that game.
I've got a question about your story, John.
Go on.
How did the conversation go when you had to hand that game back to your friend?
I didn't even tell him that the save files were corrupt. I just gave it back and said, "Oh, it's really good. That it's really good. Yeah, it's really good."
You just sort of went in. You went, "Yeah, mate."
Yeah.
Is that why you?
Yeah, I literally denied all knowledge. He said, "Yeah, the save files are gone." I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's on there, but I was on there. It was fine. I don't know what you're talking about."
It was fine when I last played.
It was the last year of middle school, so we
Did
kind
you
of went
stop
our separate
talking
ways
after
after that. Well, we certainly don't talk now, but I don't think it's because of that. So